Overanalyzing the new Avengers Endgame trailer, the film opens April 24th in PH. It's almost here. Avengers Endgame, the most anticipated movie of the year, the culmination of 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, invades cinemas worldwide on April 26th, but we in the Philippines get to watch it earlier, April 24th. Thanks, Marvel. We'd gotten teasers, and Captain Marvel certainly set the stage after the world-changing events of 2018's Avengers, Infinity War. On March 14th, Marvel Studios finally gave us the second full-length trailer, 2 minutes and 25 seconds long, and it's everything we wanted. The trailer begins with black and white scenes from the very first MCU movie, 2008's Iron Man. We see the desert where Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., first crashes after donning the suit for the first time and escaping the Nine Rings. We see him emerging from the wreckage. Then we see that Stark is recording this message using the busted-up helmet after Avengers, Infinity War. We hear Stark, God. It seemed like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of the cave, became Iron Man, realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one. There's a shot of Stark's old arc reactor now in a case that reads proof that Tony Stark has a heart. Then, there's Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow, holding a damaged Iron Man helmet to her head. We cut back to color. There's an exterior of the spaceship the Benatar, floating in space. We go closer in, and there's Stark looking helplessly out the cockpit glass. We cut to another black and white scene. It's from Captain America, the first Avenger. It's an exterior shot of the United States Army recruiting station that Captain America, Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, went to. There's the shorter, pre-process Rogers looking at the recruitment poster. We hear the voice of Agent Peggy Carter, Haley Atwell, the world has changed. None of us can go back. Cut to the present in color. We see the Statue of Liberty surrounded by empty boats. We see Rogers looking troubled. We get a wide shot of two people practicing archery. Close up, we see it is Hawkeye, Clint Barton, Jeremy Renner, presumably practicing with his daughter, who is a good shot, Bullseye. Carter, all we can do is our best. And sometimes the best we can do is to start over. Still in color, in the Tokyo rain, an unmasked Ronin, Renner in a new costume, turns to face the Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, Scarlett Johansson. The two hold hands. Cut back to black and white, but the American flag is in color. It is the funeral of Agent Carter. Rogers tears up as he carries her casket. Another black and white scene from another important 2011 MCU film, Thor. It is a cityscape of famed Asgard. Odin, Anthony Hopkins, puts his hand on the shoulder of his son, Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Then we see Thor with his shorter hair from Infinity War, and Falcon, Anthony Mackie, getting turned to ash. A horrified Echo, Donai Guerrera, looks on as T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, turns to ash. Thor looks on in horror as well. We hear Thor, "I saw all these people die." We see Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, turn to dust over a motionless Vision, Paul Bettany. Rogers touches the ash that used to be the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan. Rogers, "I keep telling everybody they should move on." In color, we see that Rogers is talking to Black Widow. Rogers, "Some do. But not us." We get a close-up of Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo. Outside in a street, a distraught Ant-Man, Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, looks at missing posters, presumably of those who were decimated by the snap. We see an Avengers Quinjet approaching the bright lights of a city at night. It's New York. We hear Natasha's voice, "Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone not in this room to try." Inside the Quinjet or maybe the Benatar, Hawkeye puts his hand to comfort Natasha. She holds his hand and rests her face on him. Hawkeye is running away from something, but an explosion throws him forward out of frame. Rocket, voiced by Bradley Cooper, cocks his gun. He is standing on the shoulder of War Machine, Don Cheadle. We get a close-up of Rogers, who says, "We will." Hawkeye is holding in his emotions. Rogers, "Whatever it takes." We see a determined Ant-Man in costume, then a lightning-aided Thor, also in costume. Thor raises his new weapon, the Axe Stormbreaker, and looks at it. There's Nebula, Karen Gillan, on a battlefield, wielding her blades and screaming as she attacks. Hawkeye turns with his arrow nocked in his bow. Hawkeye, "Whatever it takes." Natasha is practicing her shooting at a firing range, emptying her ammo clip as she walks closer to the target, then replacing the clip and cocking the gun. Natasha, "Whatever it takes." We see Rogers peeling on the straps on his shield. We see a masked Captain America, gritting his teeth. His face is all dirty and bloodied. There is a burning battlefield in his background. Ant-Man uses a pencil to jump into the action. We pause, then get a close-up of Stark still on the Benatar. Stark, "Whatever it takes." The sun shines bright in the hangar of the Avengers base. Walking purposefully through the hangar in white armor suits, emblazoned with the Avengers symbol, but unmasked are Cap, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, Nebula, War Machine, Banner, Natasha and Stark. The orchestral music rises and becomes the iconic Avengers theme by Alan Silvestri, as the Avengers Endgame title card is formed from fragments. In civilian garb, Thor walks up to a similarly casually dressed Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. The two look at each other. Thor holds out his hand over Marvel's shoulder. Stormbreaker comes flying to his hand, but Marvel doesn't even blink. She just looks at the axe and then back at Thor.